If you're seeing this video, know that it is meant for you. I'm not going to put any trending audios, hashtags, yada yada. You get the gist. My name is Matt. I am a psychic medium. I've recently been connecting with multiple different collective energies. Also, Smoothie King could be significant, or just like a peanut butter protein shake. I'm sorry. It was right in front of my face. I had to sip it. You could also just be like a drink person. Like my sister, she's such a drink person. Anyway, essentially, the message today is about love, but it's about tuning into your needs. And this is kind of going to relate to my previous video. I believe that you found someone who, oh my gosh, a white Cadillac. I keep seeing white Cadillacs. And it's like one of the Cadillac sedans. So I don't know if that's significant for anybody, but red car, gray car, Jeep, BMW. Anyway, also like a fruit bowl or an acai bowl or something. 444 Capricorn energy. All right, moving on. Orange, we'll move on. So this is going to kind of be a continuation of my previous video, but essentially what I was saying is, you know, there's this need to go within and stabilize before the love that you have found can come in clearly. Some of you may have very well met your divine counterpart and your divine soulmate, but there is still healing that needs to be done for you and for them. They're on their own journey and you're on your own journey. And if you guys are in no contact separation, you have to understand that there is work that needs to be done. And that's not to say, you know, we always were like, oh my God, another lesson. Let me tell you something right now. I hate to break the news to you, but you're never going to be done learning and healing and growing, ever. That is the human experience. You're going to feel pain. You're going to feel sadness. You're going to feel happiness. You're going to feel all these emotions, right? We're never, ever going to be in a place where everything is perfect. Ever. And believing that is part of the problem. If you think, oh, if I just, you know, drop this much weight, I'll feel better about myself. If I get the person, I'll feel better about myself. If I get the job, I'll feel better about myself. You know, my life will be good. No, I guarantee you that those things will happen and you'll still feel incomplete. And you know why you're feeling incomplete? Because you have not completed yourself. You get what I'm saying? You have to go within. So I'm not going to repeat everything that I said in my last video because, you know, I don't want to be repetitive, but I want you to understand this. I think a lot of you have found your person, and it can be very confusing because, you know, they say when you know, and, you know, you have such a strong feeling and intuition about this. You have doubts and stuff like that because of the past, you know, you're kind of being re-triggered and all these things, right? And maybe they came in the beginning with, you know, like they were pursuing you, or they were more active, or they were more communicative, or whatever the case is. A red card could be significant, definitely. You know, or just red in general. So, you know, maybe they were doing all these things and then they stopped. But you still feel that this is a very significant connection. I actually think that for a lot of you, it is. But you have to learn how to detach from the outcome that you have attached yourself to with this. A lot of you are like, we're going to get married and we're going to be together forever, blah, blah, blah. And that may very well be true. But you cannot fall in love with a fantasy. You have to, or potential. You have to fall in love with your life as it is and allow this person to enter it, if they are going to do that. And honestly, you know, if you're analyzing the past, or, you know, you're kind of like, I think being re-triggered or whatever the case is, I advise you to go write about your previous dating, you know, experiences. List out each one by one. I guarantee you're going to find a pattern. And also, the other thing I guarantee you is you weren't compatible with them. Like, genuinely, it's so funny because dating is like, it's like being interviewed for a job, right? So like, we're all basically trying to find that person, that life partner. And sometimes it doesn't work out, not because you're not qualified, you know, not because like, and I heard this somewhere and I'm forgetting where I heard it. And I want to give credit to who I heard this from, but essentially, I think it was from like a book I read. I don't even know. But essentially, like, you are not underqualified. You just weren't the right fit for that position. You just weren't the right fit for that person. That person wasn't the right fit for you. You know, so I want you to go and look at that. Now, after you've gone and looked at that, I want you to analyze the pattern or the situation going on with this current person. Are you falling into the same pattern again? Are you seeing potential and then attaching yourself to potential? Are you living in a fantasy land? If you are, stop. stop doing that, you can still like this person. You can still love them. You can still want them. But what you got to do is you have to love yourself first enough to choose you. You're abandoning yourself by living in fantasy world, by attaching yourself to an outcome or a potential, you're closing yourself off. You're not being open. And I promise you that as soon as you do all those things that I mentioned, especially in my previous video, like definitely go check out my previous video because there's like way more about how to detach and yada yada, or not, I guess not how to detach, but I don't know, you'll get it. They're going to give you the green light. Spirit's going to give you the green light. This person will come in. Someone else will come in. Whatever the case is. And it's going to be so perfect for you. It's going to be perfectly aligned for you. You have to get out of this mentality that like you're never going to find someone, and if this doesn't work out, like you're going to crumble or whatever. I don't know. There's like some, rejection wound or whatever the case is. I don't know. It's different for everybody. This is a general reading. So take what resonates, leave what does not. But you have to understand that like you are going to find what's meant for you. The only way you're not going to find what's meant for you is if you stay in this mode of existence. If you don't show up for yourself, if you don't love yourself first, I see you skipping through life, being so happy, being so radiant. And that's because you're building this stable foundation that you need to stand on top of it, that a relationship needs to grow. A relationship, did I say that right? A relationship needs to grow. If you're not stable, everything else will crumble. Literally everything else. And you don't want that. So, figure out what it is that you really want out of life. How can you build and curate the most beautiful life for yourself where you've fallen in love with yourself and with your life enough that you're not counting on someone else to come and save you or to come fill some void or to come, I don't know, just comfort you, or, there are so many reasons why we attach ourselves to people. And, it's not easy to detach. It's not an overnight thing. Listen, it took me a while too. I'm still learning. We're always going to be learning, right? So it's not an overnight thing. And it's uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable to fight your old habits and patterns and whatever the case is. But one day you're going to wake up and it's going to click. And then when it clicks and you're living in this blissful state, that's when the love will come in. That's when this person's going to show up. That's when, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, is going to give you exactly what you want. You're not getting what you want because you think you've done the work, but you actually have not done the work. You're still subconsciously attaching yourself to this person, an outcome, this fantasy world, their potential, whatever the case is. So I advise you to stop doing that, to really go within, to reflect, to understand yourself and your needs and meet those needs. You know what I'm saying? Fulfill them yourself. So that way somebody can come in and you're not seeking anything. Also, 23 keeps popping up, 23 and 22. Those are numbers I keep seeing. Also, July 22nd could be significant. 1998 could be significant. 1993. Anyway, but in a Chevy. You may also see a yellow butterfly. If not yellow, then you may just see a butterfly, but I think a yellow butterfly, and that's kind of spirit letting you know that they're there. But yeah, just understand that everything is going to work out for you, and you have to be confident in that fact. And if you're feeling I want this person, oh my God, I thought there was a bug over me. Just know that that's creating the problem, the tension, the anxiety, the sadness. Detach. You can hold space and hold love for this person and maintain hope. And you can still manifest this into your life. The way you're going to manifest it, though, is by doing exactly what I said. Trust me. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I think also a pool is significant too. I'm going to leave it there for now. I love you guys so much. Rock and roll, my spiritual gangsters. I hope you have a beautiful day. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, the link is in my bio. I also do pre-recorded readings, so you can check those out as well if you're interested. Yeah. All right. And I think I'm going to do a shadow work journal or something like that. So if you guys are interested, definitely let me know in the comments and I'll get on that. All right. I love you guys. Mwah.